What's going on, guys? Jordan here. I thought I'd do a little reintroduction. There's a lot of new followers and subscribers, so thought I'd reintroduce myself since a lot of you are new here. First off, just really appreciate the support. Every like and subscribe that you guys give me lets me do this more frequently, and it'll give me the opportunity to create some more content for you guys and help you guys get up and running as well. So a little bit about me. I grew up in the Great Lakes area and I have fallen in love with offshore kayak fishing. It is such a thrill and such an amazing chase. And just the process of getting your kayak set up the way you want it is so much fun. It took me a couple of years to really dial in my kayak setup the way I want it. And if you ask most offshore kayak fishermen about why they have things set up the way they are, they'll all give you different answers. You start to develop these preferences and you notice little things and efficiencies and ways that you can move things around to help you target fish better. So it's a really great sport because it's very personalized to you, like any other type of fishing. There's always different ways of doing the same thing. So it's kind of a neat process. I started very small. I started with pedals on my kayak and I run an Old Town Big Water PDL 132. So it's the biggest one in the fleet. And the reason that I chose this boat is because of the hull. It is just built for this big open water. I live on Georgian Bay, so I do a lot of fishing out here, and I have been in some incredible weather that has come out of nowhere. And the last thing that you want is a kayak that's not going to get you home. This is a higher risk activity, and you need to understand that safety is the most important thing, not only for you, but for people around you as well. You are dealing with boats and sailboats and shipping routes and all sorts of things that you would not necessarily see on an inland lake. So you need to be prepared. I always tell people, get your boating license. Even if you don't have a motor on your kayak and you're just pedaling or paddling, get your boating license. It is so critical to learn about the waters that you are fishing in, and to go out here with no experience or knowledge of things like dive flags, you can get into trouble really, really fast. You have to be prepared for all sorts of things out here. So I always recommend get your boater's card no matter what. Do the test. It'll help you learn about traffic rules and all sorts of things that you should know baseline. The other thing that I recommend is don't start with offshore kayak fishing. Go out on a boat, learn how things work, learn about downriggers and how you target salmon and different types of lures. You can learn it on a kayak, it's just a lot more dangerous. So if you have no experience out in open water or with offshore fishing and you jump into a kayak first, it can be very, very dangerous. So just understand that. And again, I always recommend get out on a boat, learn the process, ask lots of questions, and gain experience and confidence on the water on a boat first. Secondly, when you do get into offshore kayak fishing, make sure you choose the right boat. I do not recommend going to Canadian Tire and buying the cheapest kayak that you can find and then going into Georgian Bay and trying to catch salmon. That is a recipe for disaster. Not all kayaks are made equally. The Old Town Big Water has a hull specifically designed to cut through waves, to take on lots and lots of water, and ultimately just the durability to put mounts and different things like downriggers and different accessories on here that other kayaks can't handle. The hull is so critical and important for your success and your safety out here, and I cannot emphasize that enough. So make sure you do a lot of research before you come out here and you start doing this type of fishing, because it is so important for your safety and the safety of others. And thirdly, the process is so fun. It is so much fun. It is such a challenge. It's probably one of the hardest types of fishing I've ever done. It is so incredibly frustrating when you're first starting. You will spend many hours chasing fish and trying to locate them and figure them out. You'll lose fish at the side of the boat when you're trying to net them. Like, everything is a little bit more challenging from a kayak. But when you land your first fish and when you are chasing that fish and it hits the net, that feeling of success and accomplishment is, as far as my fishing career has gone, I don't know if anything will ever surpass that feeling of the first offshore fish that I ever hit on my kayak. It was just such an incredible feeling. It's one of those things, because you're asking so many questions and so many people are involved in your process, the first thing you do is you just want to tell everybody about it. You want to share it because they know your struggles as you're going through it, and they're helping you and hyping you up, and you know, you're asking different lure makers about different things. Shout out Ty and Tia from TNT Fishing Lures. They helped me get into my first fish. They taught me a lot about what I know, so super grateful for them. But just ask a lot of questions and get involved in the process and just embed yourself. The other thing too, just because one person says that's the way that they do it, does not mean that's the only way to do it. You will find your own personal flair and your own personal spin on doing things and making things more efficient. So if you look at 50 different offshore kayak fishermen, all of their kayaks are set up differently because it's just personal preference and the way people like things laid out. Personally, I like a very simple layout. You'll see a lot of people with a lot of rod holders and different riggers and things like that. I like fishing very simply. I like the idea of less is more in the sense of safety too, especially when you have too much going on, things can go south really fast, you know? So you got to be prepared for everything. Anyway, offshore kayak fishing is amazing. I am a huge advocate for it, doing it the right way. We get a bad rap out here sometimes because people associate offshore kayak fishermen with, you know, inland lake fishing, and it's just so different. So my hope is that if you do get into this, that you really learn the process properly, that you respect the waters, you respect other boaters, and that you learn the right way, because it can be very dangerous, and we need to not give offshore kayak fishing the wrong name, especially in high traffic boat areas. So I'll be doing a lot of videos on safety and just learning different techniques and tactics over the next little while. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I will definitely dig into specifics. And I'm always open to the idea of you guys driving some content and letting your questions kind of dictate how we approach content and tutorials and things like that on this channel. So ultimately, I want you guys to be safe. I want to make sure that you have fun doing this and that you learn a lot, but that you do it the right way, and understand that every lake is a little bit different too. So ask lots of questions. Assume that you are going to get into the worst type of situation on the water as possible, and build your kayak around safety. That is the number one thing. You cannot put a price on safety out here, and I will emphasize that time and time again. So make sure you're doing things the right way. Anyway, thanks so much again, guys, for tuning in. We have some amazing stuff on the go. Stay tuned for some Panama preparation. We are fishing a saltwater tournament, Team Canada's first time fishing in Panama, so we're super excited about that. We're doing a lot of preparation for that right now, so I will share more details as they come, but definitely stay tuned. I'll put a link to our Team Canada kayak fishing team in the description below, so make sure you follow along. We'll be introducing a lot of the team over the next little while, just sharing a little bit about our experience when we're there, and obviously working as a team, and just figuring out some new types of water and new types of fish. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We got some really cool stuff in the works, and just really excited for this year, guys. I feel like this is gonna be a great year for offshore kayak fishing in general, and we're just gonna try to keep pushing the sport forward and pushing the boundaries of what we can do. So stay tuned. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.